To the It Factor. 5 sports topics. 5 hot takes. Can you handle it? This is Isaiah Trammell.
What is up?
Alright, here we go. First topic. Houston went 0 for 27 from the 3 line. Choke job or just plain out beep?
It's a choke job, I tell you. Come on, Houston's had multiple games where they've attempted 50 or more shots from the three-point line and landed about 30% of them. Look, they were up 3-2 in this series, and they lost. They blew these games. This was their fault. Now, I will say this, Chris Paul being out was a factor. That's a factor because you put all the pressure on James Harden. Now, they have the best supporting cast in the NBA. The Warriors don't, they do. Their supporting cast was able to help James Harden get to the second round 2 years ago and go to 6 games. But then, this year, they were able, with Chris Paul, to take the Warriors to 7. Actually, they won 3 of the first 5 games. This was a choke job. But I'm going to say this. If Chris Paul didn't get hurt, I think they would have been able to beat the Warriors.
Ding! Next subject. Is this LeBron's greatest Eastern Conference Finals, playing 48 minutes in the final Game 7 against an injury-stricken Celtics team?
It might be, but here's the thing. There's 2 sides to it. The Celtics have been injured, but on the other hand, the Celtics play better as a team than the Cavaliers. The Celtics started 2-0 against the Cavs and then blew that lead. Now, I will say this. They did not lose 1 game at home until Game 7, and that was great. But here's the thing. If you cannot keep consistency against LeBron the way Terry Rozier did for most of the series, you're not going to be able to win. They really did bad when trying to beat LeBron. They didn't even score 80 points. Do you want to know what the other games they scored? They scored over 110 points in 3 of those games and only scored 79 in Game 7. This could be LeBron's best game, though, as you don't take any credit away. That Celtics team is good. Jaylen Brown, good. Jason Tatum, good. Terry Rozier, good. I'd even say, trade off Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward, get some picks out of them. But no, Danny Ainge actually said today that he's not trading any of them, fun fact. But this is one of LeBron's best games. Hands
Ding!
down.
Subject 3. How would the Warriors fare against the 97 Bulls? Go!
I think they wouldn't. I think they would be able to take them in. I'm not going to say the Bulls would sweep them, okay? But you got to think this. The Bulls had 3 Hall of Famers on that team. The greatest of all time, Michael Jordan. A top 5 small forward in Scottie Pippen. And probably the greatest rebounder / defender of all time, Dennis Rodman. Now, the Warriors are known for their 3-point shot and their offense. Their defense is good, but they lack the consistency on defense. That's why they can lose sometimes. But when they're on offense and they get going, you're not stopping them. They are great on defense when they're doing really good on offense. But that's how you control them. You gotta control them with your defense. That's what the Cavs did in 2016. But this Bulls team, they were known for their defense. They won with their defense. Defense wins championships. And Michael Jordan's not going to lose against Klay Thompson. Matching Kevin Durant up against Scottie Pippen, as good as Durant is, he's not going to beat Pippen. And Draymond Green's going to look like a scrub against Dennis Rodman. The only thing I say is, how would Steve Kerr match up against Steph Curry? We know Steve Kerr.
Coach, player, ding, good point of view. And here we go, on to the next one, prediction time. We are going to go with one NFL prediction every week. Your first NFL prediction: Cleveland Browns over under 4 wins.
I think it's going to be under, but here's why. This team, as good as they're going to be, they're still going to be bad. Tyrod Taylor, as good as a quarterback as he is, could not even start sometimes with the Bills. And the Bills are a good team, don't get me wrong. Tyrod Taylor's a great player, don't get me wrong. But he's got a kid named Baker Mayfield who just won the Heisman compete against him. I think Mayfield has a good chance at winning this starting quarterback job, but Mayfield is the biggest debate. Is Mayfield a bust or is he good? Now, if Mayfield can do good and their supporting casting can do good, then yes, I think the over is going to be 4 because they got Jarvis Landry. They got 2 receivers. But my problem is, how's Josh Gordon going to fare with barely playing any games? He has only played, 3 games in 4 or 5 years? That's not good. But they got Jarvis Landry now, one of the best wide receivers.
Very good. He says he'll take the under. Final topic of the day. What do you think of the Oregon Ducks' chances at this NCAA season? And go.
Which one? Football and basketball?
Football, sir. Just football.
Okay, you gotta make it clear because I'm big on.
You're the it factor. Give me some ducks.
I will. I'll give you that duck. Okay, so here's the thing about the Oregon Ducks. We're not gonna actually know how they'll do for a while. So the first 3 games of the season, they have a
Pause. Disclaimer: he's an Oregon Ducks fan. Unpause.
Okay, look. They got a good team. Their offense is going to be good. They got Justin Herbert. This is his 3rd season, and he's really good. He was a sophomore last year, and he did really good in limited games. If he can stay healthy, I think they'll be just fine. I think he could end up winning the Heisman. But here's the thing. The first 3 games of the season aren't going to show much, but what it will show is how good can this team do? Just developing players, because this is going to be a young team. This is their best, arguably the best recruiting class they've ever had. And it's going to show. They play Bowling Green week 1. Then they play FCS, Portland State week 2. Then San Jose State week 3. This is like an Alabama schedule. But the problem is that I'm not for sure how well they're going to do. But I got about 10 wins on this season because they don't play USC and they get Washington and Stanford at home.
And that's this week's It Factor. Real quick, greatest power forward of all time. 5, 4, 3,
Tim
2.
Duncan.
Tim Duncan, he says. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next week. Same it time. And you know the bleep in Factor.